Hey yo, YouTube fam, it's Alain Nu, the man who knows, and here to talk to you about real life stories of the impossible. The most recent real life story I've been trying to get off of. I've been trying to stop talking about Tamamo no Mae, the demon spirit nine-tailed fox that apparently escaped from the Sessho-seki stone that just recently cracked open on March the 5th. Thus releasing the spirit, apparently, allegedly, of this fox. And the question is, what would happen to the world now that this, fox spirit is on the loose? And we were talking about characteristics of the demon spirit, fox spirit, and we've talked about how it could have something to do with some kind of nature-related disaster, like earth, wind, fire, flooding, that kind of thing. And so, and we found out that just yesterday, just off the coast of Japan, very close to where the Sessho-seki stone was, there was a 7.3 earthquake tsunami that just took place just yesterday. So we don't want to jump to any conclusions, but that is kind of curious, isn't it? I had to kind of mention it on this channel. I mean, it's a philosophical question since that did just take place, and since the fox is supposed to have effects over things like wind, air, fire, water, the fact that there is a tsunami earthquake taking place and the tsunami warning is still in effect is pretty significant, wouldn't you say? And though the Sessho-seki stone is not that well known apparently, it is kind of interesting to point out that Tamamo no Mae is the most famous of all of the nine-tailed fox spirits in Japan, and that Sessho-seki is the stone that Emperor Konoe's Buddhist warrior monks was able to use some kind of magic spell to put the fox spirit into for that long. So, I mean, since I don't want to come across as like a doomsayer or anything like that, I still do want to point out the fact that there is a significance in the fact that there's an earthquake tsunami taking place. So what do you think? What do you think is the best way to go from here? In fact, comment below if you think that, the earthquake has anything to do with the Tamamo spirit, even on a consciousness level. And as a person who does feel like I'm an investigator of such phenomenon, I feel inclined to just point out what has just happened without acting like I actually believe that this has anything to do with Tamamo per se. I have already questioned if there would be any incoming disasters and how we would be able to know that those incoming disasters were precisely a signature of Tamamo, like a fingerprint that she could leave behind. I think that would be the most interesting angle of understanding how to wrap our heads around it, to say that Tamamo, is any earthquake or flood or fire or hurricane that ends up taking place in the future, perhaps would just be jumping to conclusions, right? I mean, unless it just all happened in sequence, one from another. And then the other thing to take note of is the fact that that the last thing Tamamo was trying to do was kill Emperor Konoe, which means that she was sent to kill a world leader, and therefore having just been released from the stone. And just it being the right time and place for something like, some kind of world leader assassination to be attempted. And I'm not saying that it would be successfully attempted. I'm just saying that because the truth is Tamamo was unsuccessful at originally killing Emperor Konoe. So the attempt at a world leader could actually take place, but not necessarily a successful attempt is all I'm saying, since history does have a tendency to repeat itself. That's just kind of an interesting thing to make note of, right? And in a world in which human history is teetering on being in its most messed up that it's ever been, and the idea of news that really consists of a bunch of lies is on everybody's minds, and the idea that that facts that feel completely absurd is also something that confuses our spirit and confuses our mind. Well, try and wrap your head around a nine-tailed fox spirit that's 3,500 years old, trapped in a stone for more than 900 years, suddenly being released and wreaking havoc on the planet as we speak. Wrap your head around that. And maybe it just kind of, maybe that's the mental exercise that we have to go through, right? I mean, maybe that's just how we need to go through it. I mean, by the time, it's just interesting because, you know, you can go back into my videos to learn about the kitsune fox spirit and how it develops a second tail and how it gets to become the nine-tailed QB no kitsune, and how possibly, you know, even the idea of Tamamo came from the sun goddess, the Shinto sun goddess known as Amaterasu. So, I mean, there's just a lot to know about it. It's a very, very interesting story. It's just such a strange story that that to compare it to the kind of messed up things that are going on in reality right now is interesting, just because our reality is almost as messed up as the strange story of Tamamo no Mae and the Sessho-seki killing stone of Nasu, Japan. That being said, I'm Alain Nu. These are my stories of the impossible. If you like these stories and the other content that I'm providing for you on this channel, please subscribe. Please tell a friend. Please try and help us reach that goal of over 1,000 people. I would just so much appreciate it. It means so much to me. And if you're interested in the mentalism showbiz part of my life, please go to my website at themanwhoknows.tv and subscribe to my website. You get a free gift. It's a little manifestation gift just for you. And stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. I look forward to speaking with you then. Bye.